dramatically. It was very, very inspiring. So it's truly my joy and my pleasure to introduce Lucien, the Questmaster, one of the Questmasters from the IAM team, to chat to us about whatever comes through in this moment.
Thank you. Hey, everyone. So IAM is one of the most powerful invocations of self that we have as a language. Whatever comes after it is an affirmation of the thing that spellcasts us into reality. So who are we? What are we? We're making that decision every second of our life. We're either changing it or affirming it or emblazing it into our vessels. I've always been fascinated with play. I've always been fascinated with education. I spent 7 years building a company that basically made learning playful for kids. Converted middle schools into play schools and created curriculum that taught really hard subjects in a playful way. So I loved this exploration. I've always loved this exploration of like, how can you make things intuitive? How can you make things playful for a person to basically move through consciousness and learn things that were before difficult in the old model? And as I did that, I traveled the world. I probably visited over 3,000 schools over the course of my tenure in that company. And the number one thing that I realized when going to all these places is that we did not have, and we still do not have as a world, an education for the heart. That basically, even when we get it right, and the kids do learn, they come into the world not knowing who they are, not knowing the self, not having an OS, not having a guidance system that actually allows them to interpret reality, to work with humanity and themselves in a way that has an awareness that basically upgrades their ability to evolve. And so I took it upon myself to go on a quest to understand what IAM is all about. And I walked away from traditional education and I moved into personal development. And the last couple of years, we've been designing a technology that would help people really begin to treat human alchemy at a much more sophisticated level. And one of the things that we started doing is we started creating salons that allowed people to extract their IAM. So if you can imagine, if you close your eyes right now, everyone close their eyes, and imagine in front of them is a map, a magical map of your soul. And I want you to look in the center of that, and I want you to create a little symbol of what that looks like. Just create a little symbol in the center of your map. And I want to the right of that map, I want you to feel into what your superpowers are. Just think of all the words that are your superpowers in life. Are you virtuous? Are you empathic? Are you compassionate? Are you trusting? And just feel into that. Feel into your virtues. Feel into the things that people often reflect upon you. Feel into the imagery and the energetics and the memories that come up whenever you feel into your superpowers, into the things that you either came into, incarnated with in this life as a natural power, or something that in this life you've actually focused on, cultivated, has been part of your soul journey to embody in this life. And then look on the other side of the circle and look at your skill sets, your 3D skill sets. What have you really rocked in your life? Are you an amazing writer? Are you an amazing surfer? Are you an amazing leader? And just honor yourself. Like, look at that map and see all the beautiful memories and moments of you showing up in a beautiful way. That's you. Celebrate yourself. Look at that beautiful kaleidoscope of energetics that you have embodied on your journey. And then as we move away from the circle, start filling into the things that you're still developing. What are the words that come up for you that have even come into play here? Think about this journey in just the last 2 days. When did you get triggered, or when did something come up for you where you're like, I'm still working on that. I'm still working through that. What is that? And then let's move into the shadow. What darkness do you hold? What are the words and energies and vibrations that exist within yourself? It's coming up. And then let's move through the circle and come into the light and feel into your most ecstatic, ascended moments where you were just your best self, like the best version of you. You're like, wow, why can't I be like that all the time? Or like, wow, that felt so good, what I held just there. Like, what was that voice? What was that energy? Feel into your higher self, that best part of you. And what does that look like? And that's all your I am. That's all that you are. And you have the ability to actually navigate that map. If you actually take the time to start really writing those things down, to extract those things out, and to start really bringing forward those things with others as reflections in your life, you can be even more in the captain's seat. And so what we did at Punta Mona before we came here is that we basically gamified the entirety of Punta Mona. We turned it into a 3-day choose your own adventure awakening party experience. And basically everyone created those maps, actual physical maps, physical soul maps, and then took from that the things that they wanted to transform the most in themselves. They took 3 things that they needed to work on. As I'm saying this to you, if you could pick 3 things of everything that you just thought of that you would like to just like break through here, now, in the next 48 hours before you leave this magical land, invoke the quantum field. Call it in. Life is that magical. It's that beautiful. You will invoke that you will have experiences with people that will allow you to move through those energies. And that's what we did. They chose 3, and they put it up on a board, and the entire community began to quest each other to be able to sit with another person and say, this is what I'm going through, this is what I want to be. And they would basically match with other people who had mastery in that, who had already been through that journey and who already held those codes. And then that person, the master, would then begin to build in themselves a quest mastery. And what is a quest master? A quest master is a person who takes what is unearthing from the player and comes up with a really great idea, an experience that will actually help a person pop into a deeper embodiment of that thing. So what I'm going to encourage, if for whatever reason you were in this right now, that meant that you were supposed to hear this. So what I encourage you to do is to quest somebody before you leave this experience. To run into, have some experience where you see something that you can offer to someone and activate them, hold space for them, quest them, activate their I am presence. So I'm going to give you an example of an unearthing with someone that was on Punta. So one of the things that was coming forward for someone who was on in the space was that he was feeling left out. He was feeling not included, and this was something that was not new for him. And we went into the unpacking ritual, which was inquiry. Like, tell me what this is about. What does it feel like in your body when you feel this way? When's the last time you felt that way? When's the first time you ever felt that way? And basically what we did is that we were able to unpack this feeling of being left out to this core moment in his life in 4th grade, where he had this coin, this beautiful $1 coin that his dad gave him that he really loved, and he brought it to school, and someone in the middle of the day switched his coin for another coin, but it was like a dirty coin, and it wasn't like his new coin. And he began to tell the teacher and tell the kids that this happened. And basically, the boy that actually took it and replaced it was extremely popular. And what happened to him is that he, instead of him feeling able to step into a way in which he felt wronged, he was basically bullied by an entire group of kids. Basically, all of the kids supported the bully, supported the popular kid. And that stuck with him, that he hadn't had that memory. He hadn't thought about that memory in a very long time. And essentially, I asked him, as we were talking through it and unpacking it, we went through all the feelings of it. And we got to a point where it just occurred to me. I was like, well, where is he now? Where is this guy now? Like, is he still in your hometown? Or he's like, oh, he's my friend. We became friends later in life. And I was like, well, have you ever talked to him about this? And he said, no. And so my quest to him was in the next 24 hours to call him and share this memory and just share it and just allow whatever to happen. And he did. And it was deeply cathartic, and he really moved through a deep emotional energy. And it was good. So that gives an example of what questing can be like. Thank you.